Hello everyone, you are welcome to Physique Fashional Studio. My name is Fola. Today we'll be learning how to make one beautiful bustier dress with a net lace yoke. And to make this dress, we need this fabric. I'll be using this beautiful silk fabric, this net lace of about 1 yard for the yoke and the sleeve part. And we need this lining. Then we'll be making use of our fusible interfacing in the course of the project. So let's get started. Now here I've come with my pattern. I have here with me the body's length, which is 17 inches. This is my starting point, which is the shoulder line. I have here 6.5 as my upper chest line. My chest line is 8.5, bust point is 10 inches, under bust is 13.5, and my waistline or half length is 17 inches. Then this is the shoulder length of 7 inches. 14 divided by 2 give us 7 inches. To get your upper chest line, just step up from your chest line with like 2 inches. Yeah. So then I have my bust span of 3.5. That is 7 inches divided by 2 give me 3.5. So let's proceed. So the first thing I will do is to get my bust circumference measurement, which is 34 divided by 4 give me 8.5. I mark 8.5 here. Then from my shoulder slope I have 7.5, so which is my chest line. Then when I divide that 7.5 by 2 it gives me 3.75. Here I mark it. Then I step inward with a 3/4. I connect from my shoulder slope to this 3/4 point, then to my bust measurements. Yeah. So the next thing I will do is to come to my under bust line and step outward with the 1.5. I mark 1.5 here. Then I mark half an inch inward here. I do the same thing here, half an inch on the waistline, 1.5. Then I connect it with straight ruler. Then I connect from my under bust to my bust point. We are trying to create our cup. Yeah. Then the next thing I do, I get the midpoint of this. Here I have my shoulder width of 3 inches. Then the depth will be 3 inches as well. I mark it and connect it. Yeah. Then I measure this my shoulder slope. I have like 4 quarter there, so I get the midpoint, which is a 2.1. So I connect from this point to my bust point. Yeah. So the next thing I do is to come to the upper chest line, which is from my shoulder line is 6.5. You can use 5.5 or 6 inches or 6.5, 5.5 to 6.5 inches. So I chose to use a 6.5. So on this line, I come to the right and to the left with half an inch to the left, half an inch to the right. Then I connect. I use my French curve to connect it to my bust point. That's the way you see me doing. Yeah. So the next thing is to get my horizontal measurements, We have gotten the chest line. We come to the underbust measurement. The underbust of the client, underbust circumference of the client is 30 inches. I divide it by 4, give me 7.5. I mark 7.5 here. I get what I have here. I have 2 inches here. I return it, 2 inches. I come to the waist. The waist of the client is 32 divided by 4, give me 8 inches. I mark 8 inches here. I return the 2 inches I'm having inside here. Yeah. So the next thing is for me to connect. I connect this from the underbust. I connect to the waist, just this way. Then from my bust, I connect to the underbust. Yeah. So the next thing is to get our side darts. To achieve that, you step down from the bust point. You step down with 1.5. If it's somebody that is very busty, you can use 2 inches. So then you connect from here, connect to your bust point. Then you get the mid of this 1.5, which is a 3/4, 0.75. You mark it, then you connect it to this point, stepping out with a half of an inch. From this point, you step out with half an inch. Then you connect. Then from this half an inch, you connect here. Then this half an inch, you return it to this chest line. So you connect. Yeah, that is it. So the next thing is to cut it out. Here, just ensure that this place is blended. Don't leave it sharp. You close the side dart, just the way you see me doing. Then you come to this point, you connect here to the shoulder. Connect it because you want to cut through. Yeah, so you cut this. You are cutting out the yoke. Yeah, so the next thing is to take care of the yoke. So you cut through. Remember, we've not added our joining allowance. Then you place it on the fresh paper. You want to close this, let it be aligned. Then you close it. Here, you can see that we have shortage of this here. Then you connect it straight. Here. Then you straighten this as well. Yeah, this is it. Remember, it's on fold. So this is the yoke now, and this is the, so you can see it matching. Yeah. So here we have it. So let's move to the back cut. Now drafting our back, I come with the pattern. This is the shoulder line, which is my starting point. Then the length of my back is 15.5. You know, 1.5 is being deducted from the 17 inches we use for the back half length. 1.5 was deducted as our side dart, so leaving with us 15.5 as the back length. That's what we are having here. The chest line is 8.5. From the shoulder slope is 7.5. Then we have our bust point of 10 inches. The purpose of this bust point is for us to get the dart, the waist dart. And we have 1 inch. We measure 1 inch. 1 inch here, we roll it down as a zipper allowance. On the half an inch, we step inward with half an inch to shape our back to avoid the zipper bulging. So then the next thing we do is to get the bust measurement, which is 34 divided by 4, give us a 8.5. We mark it here. Then we come to the armhole line. We measure what we are having from the after the shoulder slope. We have 7.5. We divide it by 2, give us a 3.75. We mark it here. Then we step inward with 1/4 inch. You know, for the front we step inward with 3/4 with 0.75, but for the back you step inward with 0.25. Then you connect to the bust measurement, just the way you see me placing the French cuff. Just connect it straight up. So the next thing is to come here. We get our bust span, which is 3.5 with 7 divided by 2. 3.5, we get it here. We come down here, we get it. Then we connect it with straight ruler. Then we get our waist darts. Come to the left half an inch, come to the right half an inch. Then connect it to the chest line. Just this way. Then come to this region to get your waist measurements. The waist we are working with is 32 divided by 4. Give us 8 inches. We measure our 8 inches here. Then we return this 1 inch, that's allowance. Then we return the half an inch that we use to shape the center back on it. Then you connect from bust to the waist. So I've told you half an inch is being stepping inward with half an inch to shape our back here. The next thing we do, you know, for the yoke part, we use a 6.5. We use 6.5 and the front cut. From the shoulder length, we step downward with 6.5. So we do the same thing here. We mark 6.5. We mark it here as well. We are trying to create our yoke. Then you connect it with a straight ruler. Yeah. So I advise you just get this bust span here, connect it well, connect it straight to this. You will see the use of that as we proceed. So that is it. The next thing for us is to just add our joining allowance, the back cut. Let's add half an inch. We had all the necessary joining allowance for the back. Half an inch will be added to this side, but for the side seam allowance is 1 inch. 1 inch side seam. So I mark my 1 inch here, 1 inch. I mark it here as well. I connect it. Yeah. Then half an inch will be added to this side. I'm marking my half an inch from this hammer cuff. Then you connect it. Connect it. That's the way you see me doing. Yeah. Note that this pattern is unfold. You are going to, your fabric will be unfold as you are cutting it. So all the necessary allowance has been added to the back cut. So let me just okay, half an inch will be added to the so I'm going to cut out now. Cut out your yoke. Then for this, for the darts, cut it out this way. Then close it. I'm closing this dart. I don't want to hold my darts. I'm just closing it up. Yes. I've closed up my darts, so I will just straighten here, straight it back. Yes, this is the back part, this is the yoke. So for this part, you can just, for the yoke part, just step inward with half an inch. You know, for the front yoke, half an inch, like 1 inch is being deducted here. So for the back, just deduct half an inch. So you just connect this back. So this is the one you are cutting out, you know. Joining allowance has been added. So just half an inch is being deducted from the back yoke. And then note that half an inch will be added as you are cutting out your fabric. Half an inch will be added here. Half an inch will be added here. That's the only place you are adding joining allowance in your fabric for the back cut. So this is it. The next thing is just for us to go and cut out our, our fabric. So this is it. Then this is the back cut. You can see it's because we have added the seam allowance here. We are yet to add the seam allowance here for the front. So by the time half an inch seam allowance is added here, it will match. So that is it. So that's how we come to the end of the drafting part. So the next thing is for us to move to the cutting, then later joining process.